Considering that Sony keeps pissing and pooping all over itself, it was about time I reviewed one of their timed exclusive movies pretending to be video games. And of course, whenever anyone thinks top tier Sony game, they think Days Gone. No one would think of the glorified walking simulator written by the hack Neil Druckmann, Last of Us 2. Reviewing a zombie game from Sony, of course I was gonna use the opportunity to bully The Last of Us. I'm pretty into zombie games. Taking on a horde and beating them with smart movement is really fun, and zombies are satisfying to kill. But what I really like is the idea of having the zombie apocalypse and thinning out the zombie population. Reducing them to the point that they're not really a threat anymore, and then eventually killing them off, and then people can rebuild. That's why I like Project Zomboid, because you can actually do that with the right server settings. But 7 Days to Die, Killing Floor, and this game I just play because killing zombies is fun. And this game has a pretty good story that I actually cared about. And when you kill a horde here, the horde is gone. The threat of that horde is gone, so it takes that completionist shit in my brain. I started playing this game again recently because I had the flu, a really bad case of the flu, and was pretty much locked in bed, and to have any fun in my life, I booted up the Steam Deck and started playing the Mad Max game. A game where I upgrade my car. And then I thought, wait, there was a game where I could upgrade my bike and kill zombies. And so I started playing this game on Steam Deck. Main problem there is that I hate aiming on controller. But luckily there is aim assist, so I had an okay time. Until I ran into the biggest issue with the game, the saving. You have to be close to your bike or a bed, and I saved when I wasn't close enough to my bike, and the game acted like I had saved. And then I ended up dying and lost like an hour or two of progress, because the autosaves also suck. That was incredibly annoying, and it's a big issue with the game, because it doesn't tell you explicitly, hey, you should be pretty much physically touching the bike when you save. You would have saved me a lot of headache by just letting me save whenever I was not in immediate danger. Or just lock me out of saving when it won't work, like happens whenever I'm in danger. And that's really weird, it's the obvious solution, why wasn't that done? It would avoid a lot of confusion. Okay, the actual game. The game starts slow, like you only fighting a handful of zombies at a time, and getting into small shootouts with a small group of people. And the game keeps that slow pace most of the game until like the final hours. Then it's just a sprint from horde to horde and action scene to action scene. The game is standard third-person shooting most of the time with some melee combat. You have your basic shitty knife, but you can find melee weapons that break, and you can upgrade them with crafting to be really good, but they still break. And then you get better in combat as you level up, and when you earn trust with camps, you can buy better guns. You get trust from doing jobs, killing hordes, and progressing the main story. It also has a crafting system for your healing items and throwables, like Molotovs. If a game has a crafting system, that just means you will waste a lot of time in detective vision looking for resources. You'll be taking on the fight against climate change in the zombie apocalypse as you recycle beer bottles into Molotov cocktails, and small pipes into pipe bombs. Pipe bombs are good for hordes, and you need Molotovs for clearing out zombie nests. So hordes and zombie nests are your zombie activities. With nests not really being a challenge unless a horde is nearby and gets attracted by the noise. Gathering resources for crafting is tedious but tolerable. Pretty boring though. The biggest inconvenience in the zombie apocalypse is also the biggest inconvenience pre-zombie apocalypse. Other people. Gangs of psychopaths will gather together to put traps on the road so you will fall off your bike, and then they will charge at you with pipes, or have a sniper that shoots you off your bike and he fucks your bike up. So you have to use a lot of the scrap you gather to repair it. These pissed me off every time, but man was it satisfying to kill them. This next part is kind of a theory of mine. I don't think the game explicitly tells you this is the case, but there are enemy people camps on the map, and if you go clear them out, I think there will be less of a chance that those enemy ambushes and traps happen. Fighting with people is just very standard third-person shooter stuff. There's nothing done here to make it more interesting than that. I suppose the stealth mechanics would be that interesting stuff, but shooting them is much less time-consuming and the stealth is more for sneaking around the horde or when the game forces you into stealth in a mission. The latter happens much more often. Again, stealth is fine, but nothing special done here. Just hide in bush and throw rocks to make people move. Now we can move on to the real selling points. The hordes, the bike, and the story. The hordes. The game starts giving you hordes to fight way too fucking late. Or at least directing you towards them. You can take them on earlier, but you don't know where they are, and if you take them on early on, then you don't get the horde health bar, and taking them on later will give you their location on the map. It's an obvious hint that the game thinks that you're ready for them now. You get access to the entire map and the zombie hordes at the very end of the game. So if you want to finish hordes before the story, then you will just be running from horde to horde killing them off before that final mission, with nothing else really left. For most of the hordes, the strategy of run away a little and then turn around and shoot, run, shoot, repeat will work. But hordes will try to surround you if they can, so with bigger hordes, you are gonna have to climb on stuff, or run through a narrow space, so they will get bunched up together in a tight space, and once there, throw a bunch of bombs or just shoot the fuck out of them. It's damn satisfying watching a huge horde dwindle to nothing. If there's anything I feel like is missing from the zombie killing experience here, it would be physics. I'd like to see the impact of my bullets on them. Shoot them in the shoulder and the shoulder gets thrown back. Stuff like that. And I did see some weird stuff, like sometimes hordes split up and half of them forget about you, and go back to where they were, and the other half keeps chasing you. Sometimes I have to look pretty hard to find that last zombie in the horde. And there was one horde that just did not get aggroed, so I killed them for free. But horde's good. They don't just run right at you, and shooting and bombing zombies make monkey brain go ooh. Bike. Gameplay wise, it's all about the fuel. You need fuel for the bike to work, so you're constantly on the lookout for fuel sources. So you start memorizing where you got fuel, and then when you're going around the map, you plan your routes so you'll pass by a place with fuel in it. And not accelerating too much. Accelerating uses gas, so just give it a little room to get over hills, or a little speed and then letting the bike roll. Plus, when you give the bike some gas, it's really loud early, which attracts zombies, and generally you don't want that, because they can knock you off your bike. Not gameplay wise, it's got good sound and it's generally very chill biking around in the zombie apocalypse. That's pretty much it for gameplay. For the story, the game has the standard get some actors in a room, draw dots on their face and have them act. Throw that footage to some video game animators, throw a game model on them, and now you have a movie pretending to be a video game. I'm not really like a fan of Sam Witwer, it's more like I'm fond of him. Because he was in Star Wars The Force Unleashed and that was pretty good. And then he continued to carry Star Wars on his back for a few years. And I generally like it when he's in something I'm watching or playing. But I wouldn't actively seek out his work. But if Sam is in your thing, then that's a win in my book. The cutscenes are good, well acted and well written. It was all believable. More than anything else really, I got sucked into the story. Killing hordes is fun, but post-apocalypse drama, that gets me going. This was my second playthrough, but I wanted to see all those good cutscenes again, and the really great moments, which there are a few of and I don't want to spoil them. Dialogue, performances, writing and visuals is good. Sam Witwer talks to himself a bit much, but other than that, it's good. There's also another thing that's important to talk about here. This game came out before all women in PlayStation games had their jaws stretched. You hear the retarded argument of it's hard to translate faces one-to-one. And then you play this game and it's just, here's Sam Witwer as Sam Witwer. Just look at the cast and you'd recognize them from the game. They just ported the faces right into the game. Modern developers are making characters ugly on purpose. It's also probably one of the reasons why they won't give this game a sequel. The director of the game doesn't seem to like the whole woke thing. And that's pretty much PlayStation's business plan at this point. I don't care what the game is, just spread the message. Add lesbians and a black guy with that one hairstyle. Which honestly no one reasonable would give a shit about if the writing and gameplay was good. But usually you're lucky if even one of those is good. Anyway, I enjoyed the story in this game and it's got good and memorable characters. Like Skizzo. Fuck Skizzo. Rat fuck. Which brings me to the title of the video. I'm gonna have to spoil. Skip to the timestamp here if you don't want to get spoiled. When you meet Skizzo, it's pretty obvious he's gonna fuck you over at some point. And yeah, he does. And the main character is gonna kill him, but this dumb shit old man lets him go. And then Skizzo comes back and kills the old man. And he goes, oh shit, I guess I should have let you kill him. I might be paraphrasing or putting words in his mouth, but I think he learned the lesson that you shouldn't let pieces of shit go. And instead you should kill them. That's been the justice system throughout history, but we stopped that and became civilized. How's that going? Anyway, the end of the game is the main character killing Skizzo up close with a knife in a satisfying way. And that just feels good. Meanwhile, in The Last of Us, with Druckmann's hack writing, the main character goes, you know, after killing hundreds of people to get to you, I'm just gonna let you go. Random people in my way, yeah, I killed them. But you, the person who killed my father figure, no, you walk away. And probably come after me and my family later. I'm a retard. Why does almost every Revenge is Bad story make its characters be dumbasses? To summarize, Revenge is good, actually. Back to Days Gone with no spoilers. The story has its depressing moments, but overall it's pretty damn hopeful. Like the overall message is, even if everything is shit, you can work to make it better. And eventually things will be less shitty. And that's kinda the message I needed to hear right now. Life has been rough, but things get better. Okay, let's wrap this video up. I like this game. I enjoyed the story. I think it's one of the better game stories out there and the gameplay is a solid 7 out of 10. Nothing amazing, but enjoyable. gets gameplay right without doing too much to improve or make it special in any way. It just works. And put all these mechanics together and it's fun. The fuel for the bike and gathering scrap to repair bike is probably the thing that stuck out most to me, as it was constantly on my mind. I never wanted to be stranded in the middle of nowhere. You get solid progression through earning trust and reputation with all the survivor camps, and unlocking upgrades through that. Wait a minute. Upgrades through reputation? Reputation grinding. Rap grinds. Oh no. The pacing of the game is the main issue. It takes way too long to get to the best part of the game. The hordes. By the time you get to them, you're already over-prepared for most of them. They totally missed the opportunity for a real fish out of water moment. An oh shit, holy fuck moment, where you have kinda shitty gear against a horde, and you can either run from them with smart movement, or through sheer stubbornness, you manage to take it down with your shitty gear. That would have stuck with you. And the developers knew this was a problem with the game, but we will never see that mistake fixed. Because this game will never get a sequel. Because PlayStation is a shit company run by morons. And honestly, because the best part of the game is presented to you after like, I wanna say 20 hours, you play a really long time until you get to it. But for me, the journey there was fun, because burning zombie nests, the story, and accidentally running into hordes in the wild is fun. I recommend the game. It's a good zombie story game with good gameplay, and gave me an excuse to shit on The Last of Us. Consider this video like a warm-up for me coming back. Exams and life has been a lot, and it made me feel rusty in video making, and I needed to shake that off before Elden Ring. And I'm hoping to get the Dark Souls 2 video out before the DLC comes out. Until then, subscribe and have a good day.